Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into another video on the Stony River channel. Today I'd like to continue my discussion on hats. Last week I talked about the Yooper Chook, and this week I'd like to talk about another relic from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan that is called the Stormy Kromer Hat. Much older than the Yooper Chook. This is going back over 100 years, and these are made in Ironwood, Michigan, just straddling the Wisconsin and Upper Peninsula of Michigan border. They are made predominantly of wool that's globally sourced, but made in Ironwood, Michigan. And the hallmark of the Stormy Kromer hats is that, yes, they are shaped like a standard kind of ball cap, but they have flaps. They have flaps on the side that can be deployed to cover your ears. So kind of another kind of a convertible hat. So here's what it kind of looks like with the flaps down, covering your ears, and then you can easily just flip them up. And Stormy Kromer hats are pretty popular in the upper Midwest. You just find them in northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan. Don't really see them as you head further south, but they're kind of a staple of this area here. And I have a bunch of different ones. I don't like to accumulate lots of stuff, but if there's one thing I have way too many of, it's hats. Many of these were gifts, and many of these I had purchased over the years. So by no means do I need this number of Stormy Kromer hats. It just kind of happened over time. Like I said, some gifts, some that I purchased. This is the first one I ever got, probably 5 to 10 years ago. Gray in wool. And they have typical, the sizing is typically like how you'd buy like a fitted baseball cap, so in inches and fractions of inches. So I think typically I wear 7 3/4. I have a pretty big head. And yeah, this is the first one I ever bought. They have an inscription on the inside that kind of tells a little bit of the folklore. So George Stormy Kromer, a semi-pro baseball player and railroad engineer, got tired of losing his hat to the winter wind, so he asked his wife to sew some flaps on an old baseball cap to keep it snug. It worked so well that 100 years later it's still legendary for comfort and fit. They typically come with a cotton lining, although like the exterior is wool, and the interior is nice and soft on your head. And they have like a serial number, which corresponds to a lifetime warranty of sorts, although never really investigated what the details of that would be. I'm suspecting that maybe if you lost it or it got damaged, they would replace it. They typically come in the like $40 to $50 range. That might have changed because I have more than I ever will need to buy. I don't ever need to buy another Stormy Kromer hat, as you will see. And I'll just show you some of the other examples of the common standard one. So this is just like the standard normal Stormy Kromer. I have it in gray. This is my first one I've ever gotten. It's kind of feel like it's shrunk a little bit just through like excessive use, and maybe like it's taken on some moisture. So it fits pretty snug, but I don't really have any hair, so that's not a problem. Then I think I got this green and yellow one, green with yellow trim. Same exact kind of concept. Wool, it's just different color. And I got a blaze orange one to be visible. I don't currently hunt much, but if I'm out in the woods during hunting season with my dog, who you can hear in the background, I want to be visible. I want her to be visible. So there's just a standard blaze orange one. This one's kind of cool. This one actually isn't predominantly wool. It's mostly a waxed canvas or a canvas material with with Harris tweed trim, which Harris tweed is it's a wool that is special and made on one of the UK Isles, or either Ireland, Scotland, or the UK. Someone please comment where a Harris tweed is made because I'm blanking on it. But I think historically it was dyed with lichens, which it's pretty cool. So this one's got like a wax canvas with the Harris tweed trim. That's pretty cool. And then these other ones were pretty much gifts. These two are gifts. This one's like all Harris tweed and it doesn't have the flaps. It's more of just a traditional cap. I think it's pretty cool though. It's got really cool color patterns on it. Not sure how visible that is, but it's very beautiful. This is all Harris tweed. It says from the woven in the outer Hebrides. but it's legit Harris tweed. I don't really know what that means, but someone please comment if they know. And then these, this was a gift. I don't necessarily like the style of this one, but hey, to each their own. It's a hat that someone gave me. And then last but not least is like a more traditional wool ball cap. So these guys, like these more fashionable Stormy Kromers, they kind of come in, I think, more general sizes. No, they don't. They still all come in, excuse me, that's wrong. They still come with standard ball cap sizes, like in 7 3/4 is kind of my calling card. But yeah, they're an awesome hat. I would love to go to Ironwood to tour. I mean, I've been to Ironwood a lot, but I would love to go there specifically to tour their factory. They do offer some degree of tours, but you can pick them up at most kind of northern outdoor gear stores. Of course, they definitely sell them off their own website and such, and they make a lot of other things that are tailored toward men's, women's fashion and unisex and all that stuff. So there's a lot of other options. I think I have enough right now to last me my lifetime, so I'm good. But the hallmark of the Stormy Kromer is the wool standard, you know, this kind of standard wool one with the flaps that you can, you know, put down over your ears so you're covered in the wind. And that's the Stormy Kromer cap. This kind of standard one, once again, retails for somewhere in, at least the last time I bought one, which was a while ago, in that $40 to $50 range. But they vary. Sometimes you can catch, like, when they kind of discontinue special things, you can catch sorry. You can get them cheaper on clearance and stuff like that if you check their website. But highly recommend Stormy Kromer. Probably one of my favorite hats of all time. Typically don't wear them in like the, you know, the in the depths of winter. Typically prefer like a more of an acrylic, like knit cap of sorts to stay warm. But as far as like the shoulder seasons, they're wonderful. And then like those kind of more thin, fashionable shapes and styles you could wear in the summer. And they make other ones that are of canvas that would be better for summer. So check out Stormy Kromer hats. I guess if you don't live in this northern area, they look really kind of goofy, but I get so used to seeing them that they kind of feel like they're like a staple of the region. So it just depends. But I highly recommend them. Relatively locally made, American made, in the beautiful Upper Peninsula of Michigan and the wonderful city of Ironwood.